Hello and welcome. Today we're going to be sculpting again. Sculpting a goblin. And because my name is Goblin, we're going to give him a hat and we're going to give him a mole. So it's kind of like a caricature of me. Maybe a self-portrait of sorts. I'm not going to try and make my face or anything. Actually, I've got a massive nose as well. But anyway, yeah, we're going to be sculpting a goblin. He's going to be loosely based on me. And then in future videos, we're going to be printing him out, painting him. And you know, I'm doing a giveaway right now. Check out my 100 sub video. But I may throw this into the giveaway as well. You know, I've never used Blender. Well, I have a long time ago, but I didn't get far at all. But I've got about 8 hours of practicing, and I think I'm ready to sculpt. So let's jump straight into it, shall we? Trying to do a transition there. Hopefully I can find a transition that actually works with that, or else I'm going to look stupid, aren't I? Okay, so with this one I tried something a little bit different. I thought I'd put the raw shapes in first, so that I could sculpt from there. I then remeshed it to make it all sculptable and everything, and then I had a base to work from, which I feel helped quite a lot actually. So now the form was starting to take shape, though I was still struggling with working out what tools I needed and what the shortcuts to those tools were. But to be honest, Blender isn't really as intimidating as I first thought it was. Yeah, there's a lot to learn, and there's a lot of tools and a lot of ways you can go about doing things, but ultimately it's just another 3D application. I would say it's like Nomad Sculpt, except Nomad is a lot simpler in terms of user interface. And also you can do a lot more on Blender, but I'll basically be doing exactly the same things as I was doing on Nomad. So at this point I was about an hour into the sculpt, and I was finally nailing down the hotkeys that I was using the most, such as Shift S for smooth, Shift C for pinch. Is it called pinch? I'm not sure. Crease, it's called crease. And also getting used to the camera movements as well, because that is actually pretty tricky to remember. At least the way I've got it set up anyway, because I couldn't get my pen tablet to do any key mapping. Blender's complicated enough as it is, and I didn't want to spend time working out how to do key mapping, so instead I thought let me just sculpt, and I just turned on the keyboard shortcut kind of way of doing mouse movements, such as hold down Alt to rotate and Alt Control to zoom and Alt Shift to move the camera around, which works pretty well, but sometimes it does get confusing, but I'm sure it's something that I'll pick up as a second nature over time. For the next clips, I ripped them straight from my stream. I'm just trying something new, trying to kill two birds with one stone. Just an experiment for now, so we'll see how it goes. I think he's starting to look more like a goblin now. I think the secret to a good goblin is exaggerated features, and I mean really exaggerate them. Make the ears really sharp, make the nose really big, make the grin really wide, and yeah, that was the problem I was having earlier on. He was looking too human, almost just like an evil man really, you know, but we wanted to look like a mischievous goblin. So I played around, distorting the features more and more, little by little, until I was happy with it. And now it was time to add the cap. And so I got a little bit experimental with this. Originally I was just going to add an extra piece of geometry and try and shape it to the head, but that would have been really annoying. So I came up with this. I put a mask all the way around his head. Then I inverted the mask so that only the top of his head was editable. So the top of his head was the only part that could be modified. Then I enlarged that part of the head just by a little bit to create the rim. And it worked out pretty well. I mean, this is what I really like about sculpting, is it's like a puzzle, really. And I like puzzles, I like puzzle games. This really gets you thinking sometimes, like, how can I do this? You don't really have to learn the software as such. Like, I don't really like watching tutorials much. If I can, I'll refrain from watching any tutorials. And instead, if I work out some tools and know how to use them, then I can learn how to put them together in creative ways. That's how I like to learn software. Doesn't always work, sometimes I have to resort to watching a couple of tutorials, but overall I find more fun in my own problem solving skills. Can you call it skills? I don't know if it's really a skill, it's more of just an experimentation. It doesn't always go well. That's gonna do it for me, I reckon. I'm gonna get some food because I'm hungry. But yeah, if you want to get into like any program really, don't be afraid to experiment and try things out. The build of this cap was just crazy to work out. I mean, that clip before of me saying I was getting hungry is because I kept trying to work out a way to make this cap. But I persevered, and eventually I found a way that was actually pretty simple. Not the perfect geometry, but it worked. And so after this, I just cleaned up the sculpt and I was done. So there we have it, a goblin, kind of, you know, self-portrait sort of thing. And I also made a hatless version as well. This one was a lot of fun because I was working out the software as well. Like I said, it's like a puzzle and I enjoy puzzles. And yeah, let me know if you enjoyed it. Let me know which one you prefer as well. Like I said in the intro, I'm doing a giveaway for 100 subs. Check out my 100 sub video. And I may print this one off as well and throw it into the giveaway. Also, if you do like my models, you can join my Patreon at a night tier or higher to get access to everything I sculpt on the channel. The two I've just done will be available once I've printed them out to make sure they're all good. So stay tuned, because in the future we're going to be printing them out, we're going to be painting him, and that's it. And I'd like to just quickly give a shout out to Vivid Mini Mods, Vinny Jones, Kevin from Vivid Mini Mods, for giving me tricks and tips on Blender, which really helped out. So I'll put a link in the description down below to his channel, go check him out. He's recently converted one of those hex bug crawler things, and it looks so cool. I want to do something like that too at some point. That wraps it up for this week. I may slow down on content a little bit because I've been working my ass off recently, and I think maybe I need a little bit of a break, but we'll see. I thought that last week, but here I am, back at it again. So with that said, I hope you enjoyed the video and I hope I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.